day, everyone. Our topic for integrative programming and technologies are focused on web developing. So, so first, we will discuss what is web messaging format and integration technology, and also we have web services standard and web scripting, which is the client-side scripting. So first, let us focus on web messaging format and so integration. So guys, what is in your own understanding, or what is message actually? So as an introduction in integration styles, so we discussed the various options for connecting application with one to another. So that is called the programming technologies and integration. So including the messaging. So messaging, it makes an applications loosely coupled by communicating asynchronously, so which also makes the communication more reliable because the two applications do not have to be running at the same time. So messaging makes the messaging system responsible for transferring data from one another to another. So the application can focus on what data they need to share, but no worry so much about how to share it. So the basic concept of messaging, like the most technologies, so messaging involves certain concepts. So once you understand this concept, so you can make sense of technology even before you understand all the details about how to use it. So these basic messaging concepts are so channels, message, multi-step delivery, routing, transformation, and endpoints. So in channels, messaging application transmit data through message channel. So a virtual pipe that connects a sender to receiver. A newly installed messaging system so doesn't contain any channel. So you must determine how your application needs to communicate and then create a channel to facilitate it. Another is message. So a message, it is an atomic packet of data that can be transmitted on channel. So thus, to transmit data, an application must break the data into one or more packets. So wrap each packet as a message and then send the message on a channel. So likewise, a receiver application receive a message and must extract the data from the message to process it. So the message system will try repeatedly to deliver the message. So example, so transmit it from the sender to the receiver until it succeeds. So in other words, a message kuno, it is an atomic packet of data. So kibali isa siya ka data na mo transmit siya from another channel. Like for example, kung ato basihan sa drone in the real isa ako ka channel as human being, ang kamo sab isa ka mo ka channel as as my students. So I am using a packet of data para ma-transmit into sa audio na channel. Like for example, maghatag ako ng command. So a command is a form of a message na audio madawat through packet. So i-transmit ni dyan ng data, then basahon ng application into another more packet. So that is an example of a message and also a channel. So another is the basic concept sa messaging is there is also a multi-step delivery. So what is a multi-step delivery? So in the simplest case, the message system delivers a message directly from sender. So sender computer to receiver's computer. So however, action often need to be performed on the message after it is sent by its original sender. But before it received by its final receiver, so the message may have to be validated to transform because the receiver expects a different message format than sender. So there is called also a pipes and filter. So it is a pipes and filter is an architecture to describe how multiple processing steps can be chained together by using channel. So in many enterprise integration scenarios, so a single event triggers a sequence of processing steps, each performing specific function. So let's assume so a new order arrives in another enterprise, so in the form of a message. So once requirement may be the message is encrypted to be prevent from spying on a customer's order. So a second requirement is the message contain authentication information in the form of digital certificate. So to ensure that orders are placed by trusted customers. So in addition, so duplicate message could be sent from external parties. So remember all the warnings on the popular shopping sites to click the order now, like for example yung mga e-commerce, eBay, Shopee, Lazada. So i-click ang order now button only once. So kayo man to avoid duplicate shipments and unhappy customers. So to eliminate the duplicate message before subsequent order processing steps are initiated. So to meet this requirement, so we need to transform a stream of possibly duplicated or encrypted message containing extra authentication data into a stream of unique, simple plain text order message without the extraneous data fields. So how can we perform complex processing on a message while maintaining independency and flexibility? So there is a pipe like for example the incoming order, there is a pipe, so it's a decrypt, then continue after ng decrypt, i-authenticate, then pag makita niya kung dyan duplication, i-validate kung dyan duplication ng order, tapos pagwaya proceed sa order claim. So the use of the pipes and filters, so it architectural style to divide a larger processing task into a sequence of smaller independent processing steps, filters that are connected by channel pipes. So each filters compose a very simple interface. So it receives message on the inbound pipe, then processing the message on publish the result on the outbound pipe, then the pipe connects on filter to the next, sending output message from one another to the next. So because all of the components used in the same external interface can be composed into different solution by connecting the components to different pipes. So we can add new filters, omit existing ones, or rearrange them into a new sequence. So, all without having to change the filter themselves. So the connection between the filter and pipe is something called port. So in the basic form, each filter components has one input port and one output port. So those are the multi-step delivery. So let's na proceed sa routing. Routing. So what is routing? In a large enterprise without numerous applications and channels to connect them, a message may have to go through several channels to reach its final destination. So the root message must be to be complex, that the original sender does not know what channel will get the message to the final receiver. So instead, the original sender sends the message to a message router. So there is called a message router. So a message router, it is an application component and filter in the pipes and filter architecture. So which will determine how to navigate the channel topology and direct message to the final receiver, or at least to the next router. So how can we decouple, or how can you decouple individual processing step so that message can be passed to different filters depending on the set of condition. So example, ganina we have discussed the use of filter and pipes. So the filter and pipes, the filter and pipes is a way or a port that connects from one channel or from sender to receiver. So at this point, the router has bali siya amoy maghanap nan ruta kung hain dapat niya or hain dapat niya isend ang message, kung kanin una channel dapat niya isend ang message. Like for example, nowadays a common sense ra kita hay, like for example, kung ato i-base ang nahitabo or i-base nato from real, like for example sa mga cellphone user. So diyon si Jajay gihapon tagtawag na message router para hanapon ang number ng imo text-mate kung hain diyon siya dapat isend. So ija gihapon i-filter ang mga message or a number na hain nimo siya sindan. So that is the use of routing. So third is transformation. So transformation, it is a various application may not agree on the format for the same conceptual data. So the sender formats the message one way, yet the receiver expect it to be formatted another way. So to reconcile this, the message must go through an intermediate filter, so a message translator that converts the message from one format to another. So an translator, it has a previous pattern, describes how to construct message, so and how to route them to correct destination. So in many cases, so enterprise integration solution route message between existing application, so such as a legacy system, so another application, so homegrown custom application, or application operated by external patterns. So each of these applications is usually built around a proprietary data model. So each application may have a slightly different notion of the customer entity. The attributes that define a customer and which other entities or a customer is related to. For example, so the accounting system may be more interested in the customer taxpayer ID numbers, while the customer relationship management or the CRM system store phone numbers, address, the information of the customers, and the applications underlying data model usually drives the design of the physical database scheme. So an interface of file format or a programming interface, those entities that an integration solution has to interface with. So as a result, the application expects to receive message that mimic the application internal data format. So in addition to the proprietary data models and data formats incorporated on various application, integration solution oftentimes interact with standardized data format that seek to be independent from specific applications. So, there are number of consortia and standards bodies that define the protocol, such as OGIS, RosettaNet, and ABXML. So, and many other. So, industry-specific consortia, in many cases, the integration solution needs to be able to communicate with external parties, so using the official data format, while the internal system are based on proprietary format. That's why it needs a translator. So lastly is the endpoints. So what is the use of endpoints in messaging pattern or in basic messaging concept? So an application or the endpoints is an application, so does not have some built-in capacity to interface with a messaging system. So rather, it must contain a layer of code that knows both how application work and how messaging system works. So bridging the two so that they work together. So the bridge code is set of coordinated message endpoints that enable the application to send and receive message. So there is a same concept from sender to receiver. That is the point of endpoints. Let's say message and endpoint from data to from sender application. Then transmit siya a message, transmit ng message, hanapon ang channel, then hanap ng channel, pag abot ng receiver's application, madawat ang message din makita. So the message endpoint code is custom to both the application and the message system clients API. So the rest of the application knows little about message format, messaging channels, or any of other details of communicating with another applications via messaging. So it just knows that it has a requirement of piece of data to send to another application, or is expecting those another application. So it is the messaging endpoint code that takes the command or data. Again, it is the messaging endpoint code that takes the command or data. So mix it into a message and send it on particular messaging channel. So it is the endpoint that receives a message, extract the content, and give them to the application in a meaningful way. So those are the topic that we have focusing on the web messaging format and integration technology. So in using messaging to transfer packet of data frequently, immediately, reliability, and asynchronously, so using customizable formats. So that's all our topic. So by next meeting, or by next, I will be posting some video for the next topic for you to view, or to check, or to study. And don't forget to subscribe my channel. Without joke. That's all. If you have question, you can ask or message me sa ato group chat. And our quiz for this topic will be posting sa ato Google Classroom. That's all, and thank you.